Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll help the channel out and it'll get you more videos like this. Let's get to it. And our first one is from Few Suspects 7961. Am I the beehole for inviting my parents to my house after they didn't respond to my fiance's medical emergency? My fiancée, Allie, a 31-year-old female, is the type of person that calls people 2 or 3 times in a row when she wants to get a hold of them for anything. The first time she did this to my parents, we were driving to a concert, and I asked her to call my folks from my phone. She called, they didn't pick up. She started calling my mom again right away and asked what she was doing. My mom picked up right away, worried. Allie asked our question. I told mom false alarm and hung up. She asked why my mom had been irritated, and I explained to her that in my family, we only call twice in a row if it's an emergency. Allie has never followed this, and will always call them repeatedly for the most mundane stuff. If one doesn't answer, she'll sometimes call the other parent. All that to say, a couple weeks ago, she broke her leg while working around the house. I was in the workshop for work that day and could only check my phone on breaks. She called my parents since they live a couple streets over, but neither answered their phones. She wound up having to call the ambulance. I got her message too after she fell and went to the hospital. She was pretty mad at my parents when I got there. I let them know what happened, and they also rushed to the hospital to apologize and check on her. She didn't want them coming in, so they sat outside for a bit, got her flowers from the gift shop, and eventually went home. I took some time off of work to take care of her, and my parents had been offering to help as they could. Her sister drove in to help, so I could go back to work. Last night I decided to make a nice dinner than usual, and wanted to invite my parents. I gave her a heads up that I was inviting them, and asked if she wanted me to rearrange some chairs and the table so we can all eat together. She got mad I wanted to invite them, and it's of the mind I shouldn't be wanting to see/speak to them after they ignored her. Her sister agrees with her and feels I'm putting my parents over my soon-to-be wife. Up until this point, I haven't said anything to her about the situation, but I did, and then told her it was a massive F-up in communication on everyone's part. And time we all talk it out and put it behind us. Neither she or her sister think we should stop being mad at them. Was I the beehole to invite my parents over? Edit, for asked info. My parents were sitting outside for their quiet time when she called. It's not unusual for them not to answer calls/texts and wait to return them later when they do that. I myself had to do 2 call routines so they knew it was urgent. OP, no, you are not the beehole in this situation. No, you shouldn't have to stop talking to your parents. She's the one who messed up. Okay, after the first time, and you told her, hey, this is how it works in my family. Multiple calls in a row means emergency, which I get. We have something like that in the family too. It's just multiple calls. We don't have a set number, but if you keep calling, something's happening. So this probably ended up being a boy who cried wolf situation. Called wolf, cried. It could work in modern day, but she kept calling them for nonsense. Kept using emergency calls to tell them for the most mundane things. After a while, they got used to it and started to ignore her because they assumed it'd just be nonsense. And I believe you're handling it the proper way, where, hey, we all need to sit down and talk this out. Personally, she did this to herself when you told her the first time, hey, this is how it works with my family. Don't do this unless there's an emergency. She didn't listen to you and kept doing that. So she ended up in this situation. So I don't know how that talk's going to play out. But if she keeps saying, hey, don't talk to your parents who did nothing wrong, because I'd probably be the same way. If someone kept calling me, I'd want to ignore them after a while too. Good thing you're not married yet, I'm just saying, because no one's going to stop me from talking to my parents, especially if they haven't done anything wrong. And you know what I mean? And plus, they're not bad people. They came when they heard there was an emergency. They bought stuff, which is, it's overpriced at the gift shop, which is really nice of them. And they want to come, take care of her, help her out. Sounds like you got good parents, and I do not blame them. You are not the beehole. I'm going to say your fiance is definitely the beehole in the situation, and she's acting very childish. She needs to talk this out. She knows what she did was wrong, and she knew not to do that, and she still did it, so I don't blame your parents. And our next one comes from Vexal. Would I be the beehole for not sharing my inheritance with my half-brother? I, an 18-year-old male, have a half-brother, a 16-year-old male, who I have never met. He is the result of my dad's affair with another woman. When I was a kid, my dad left my mom and me for his mistress and started a whole new family with her. He never paid any child support or alimony. He rarely contacted me. He basically abandoned me and chose his new family over me. My mom raised me by herself and worked hard to provide for me. She passed away last year from leukemia and left me everything she had, which was not much, but enough to pay off my student loans and buy a small apartment. I was devastated by her death, and I miss her every day. A few weeks ago, I got a call from my dad's mistress, who is now his wife. She told me that my dad had ceased to be in a traffic accident and that he left a will. He left half of his estate to his wife and the other half to his sons, me and my half-brother. However, he left a note saying that he wanted me to meet his family to get the money. Oh, that's evil. And forgive him for saying that he regretted not being a good father to me. He asked his lawyer and wife to contact me and make me aware that he had left me a substantial portion of the inheritance. So he's trying to buy you off, OP, and trying to force you to forgive him. How messed up is that? I was shocked and angry when I heard this. I hate him for even trying to buy my forgiveness with his money. After ignoring me and my family for most of my life, I told his wife I didn't want anything from him, and that I wanted nothing to do with them. She sounded hurt and said that they were just trying to honor his wishes and that they wanted to get to know me and be a family. She said that my half-brother was looking forward to meeting me and that he's willing to share his inheritance with me and asked me to reconsider and give them a chance. I hung up on her and blocked her number. I don't want to have any contact with them. I don't care about the money or the family. I only care about my mom, who was the only parent I ever had. She was the one who loved me and supported me, and she was the one who deserved the inheritance, not them. I don't want them to have it either, though. It seems like I'm promised around 25%, and I would rather have the money and go to my youngest sister, but I don't want to take which I see as a bribe. What should I do? I'm conflicted. I know I could just suck it up, but it feels like I'd be disrespecting my mother if I did so. But I really need the money. Meeting them is a requirement to get the money, and I can't just do it once. It said I had to spend time with them and do bonding activities with them. I spent nearly 30 hours to be eligible. My younger sister, she could really use the money. And she's the person I care about the most. I also don't want to forgive the man that ruined mom's life and indirectly led to her being deceased. I'm sure I could make some money to help with the college/life, but I'm never going to be able to match the insane sum that he left for me. Okay, OP, I get it. So I'm gonna say you're not the beehole. I get not wanting to be around them or talk to them. But OP, go get that money. Go get that money. It could help you and your sister, and all you gotta do is hang out with a bunch of doofuses for 30 hours. I could do that. I'd take a bullet for my people I love. I could sit somewhere and pretend to bond with people for 30 hours. And the whole forgiving thing, it's just words, OP. He's not there to receive it. Who cares? Just say you forgive him, take the bloody money, and help you and your sister. You gotta prioritize, it's there, take it. And you don't even have to do anything for you could just pretend, play along. And then after the 30 hours, just drop them like, a ton of bricks. That's what I would do. Just suck it up for 30 hours, OP. And you'll have a nice chunk of change that'll help you and your sister. I get it. I get why you don't want to be around those people. But OP, that's easy money. Go get that money, OP. But not the beehole. And our final one comes from Practical Name 6102. Am I the beehole for telling my mom I'd call the cops if she tried to get rid of my dog? I, a 17-year-old female, have a dog who I keep in the house with my 38-year-old female mother and my other family members, dad and older brother. My dog has been sick for a while, and at first my mom refused to give me any money to take my dog to the vet, saying I shouldn't have wasted my pocket money, which is non-existent. I don't get money from other than special occasions. I broke the saving pot I personally saved up for a laptop myself to take my dog to the vet. My dog got treatment, and it turns out she was sick. She has medication I have to feed her and has been quite tired as late. She's been quiet for a week or so. Today, when my mom came home, she was being loud, which alarmed my dog, and had her barking. I was sleeping when my mom bombarded my phone saying she'd get rid of my dog if I didn't shut her up. My mom has a tendency to leave my dog out and will tell me she'll give her away until I'm sobbing. Then she tells me she's trying to discipline me. And that's not discipline, that's abuse. When I woke up, I took my dog while my mom yelled, and I told her she was insane for even thinking that, and that I'd call the cops if she let my dog loose again, especially since it was raining. My mom has been giving me the silent treatment. Good, sounds like you need some peace and quiet. My dad says I overreacted and that she was just joking, which made me second guess. Am I the beehole for saying I'd call the cops? No, OP. No, you're not the beehole. I think you might need to call the cops or CPS or something to get these people involved. Because what your mom is doing, she's being abusive. Your dad sounds like a pushover who's just going along with it. Because she's showing signs of being, psychopath, right? She has no problem hurting small animals. She's enjoying torturing you through your dog. Just letting your dog stay there sick. And, they're using you, OP. If you don't get, help or get people involved, you need to start getting ready to get the hell out of there. And, I don't know what else to tell you. Get out of there or call for help from somebody, cops. because what they're doing is straight up abuse. Oh, they do all those horrible things to you, and then when you finally, fight back, they go, "Oh, I was just joking. I was just joking." That's some gaslighting crap right there. Yeah, but that's a use, but you are not the beehole for calling the cops. I'd say just call the cops and tell them what's going on. Thank you for making it to the end of the video with me. And can you please do what I said in the beginning? And like, comment, and subscribe. It really and truly does help the channel out. It helps it grow, and it helps you get more videos like this. Velvet out.